Okay, so what we're going to do a satisfactory academic progress report. I'm going to show you all how to do these calculations, and I'm going to show you what NACCAS is really looking for. I'm going to show you what a wrong satisfactory academic progress report is, and I'm going to show you what a correct one is. So we're going to go step by step. Okay, what we're looking at right now is a clock hour program, and I know you all are in different states all over the United States. And some of y'all have multiple programs. Some of y'all have one program. If you look over here on the screen where it has 600 clock hours, your program may not be 600 clock hours. If it is, you would do a satisfactory academic progress report at 300 hours. You see it right here. Okay. You could do another one at 300 hours. Now, if you have a program that's 1,000 hours, and I'm going to highlight this, you see the 1,000 hours right here. You're going to do a progress report at 450 clock hours, 900 clock hours, 1,000 clock hours. If you have a 1,500 hour program, 1,500 clock hours, your first satisfactory academic progress report is going to be at 450 hours. Your second one, 900 hours. Your third one, 1,200 hours. Fourth, 1,500. If you have an 1,800 hour program, it's going to be 450, 900, 1,350, 1,800. If this is a 1,600 hour, 450, 900, 1,250. Now, what I want to do now that we know when to give them a satisfactory academic progress report, we know the total clock hours. Now we know when to give them a satisfactory academic progress report. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to show you what one looks like. Okay. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to show you a sample. Now, if you're looking at this satisfactory academic progress report, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this. So you'll have a satisfactory academic progress report. You can type your school name right here. Leave this here, put the student's name, date, start date, evaluation period, hours, and number of weeks. Now, most schools will have a 67% attendance. That is the minimum attendance average that you can have and a student can still be passing. The minimum grade point average is 70%, according to NACCAS and the U.S. Department of Education. Now, this right here has 75. So what we're going to do, we're going to change this to 70%. All right. Now, I know a lot of y'all are asking me, well, why would you use 67% attendance and 70% grade point average? Well, I want to hold my students to a higher standard. I want to have a 75% attendance and a 80% grade point average. Now, I want to break this down to you all. This is going to be very important. This right here can either make you millions of dollars or you could lose millions of dollars. So I'm going to break this down for you all right now. So let's break this down because I need y'all to get this real clear. All right, listen very closely. The reason why you want to do the bare minimum that the U.S. Department of Education requires and that NACCAS requires, as far as 67% attendance, 70% grade point average. I want all of y'all to imagine that you have 100 students. We'll just say we have 100 students. We're accredited. We're getting financial aid, Title IV funding, the Pell Grants, financial aid, it's all the same. And we had all 100 students to hit 450 hours. All right. When they first started, we got the first payment. We'll just say we got $3,000 in Pell Grant $4,700 in the loans. So that's $7,700. When they hit 451, if they all qualify for the full financial aid Pell Grant, there'd be another $7,700. Okay, 7,700. Now, if we have an automated system like Fame, Genesis, Discovery Pro, all these software systems that they have out here, and it's connected to the U.S. Department of Education for payments, because you want to have a third-party processor. A third-party processor is like Fame, Genesis, whatever. They pretty much keep up with your financial aid when payments are doing all that. So they hit 450 hours, those 100 students. If your attendance, you done made it 80%, I'm just giving you an example, and your grade point average, you made that at 85% because you want to hold them to a higher standard. If those students have 70%, 67%, guess what? They're below. So guess what? You're not getting paid. You just lost 100, them 100 students times $7,700. You just lost $770,000 because you're trying to hold them to a higher standard. So Ms. Velma taught me, my mentor, she said, Chin, do the bare minimum. Set your standards, your rules and regs at the bare minimum. 67% attendance, 70% grade point average. So I wanted to share that with you all so y'all could get that in your head and understand. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to share this screen back. So let's continue on with this training. So now we got the minimum attendance, 67%. Why? Because that's the minimum attendance that the U.S. Department of Education says in NACCAS, 70% grade point average. Now, what we want to do, we want to imagine, and I'm going to type this in here. So imagine that they're doing, we'll just say 30 hours per week. That's the student's schedule. Okay, their schedule is 30 hours per week. Now, just say that they hit 400, we're going to do this on a 1,500 hour program. So let's just do this on a 1,500 hour program. On a 1,500 hour program, we have to know, well, when do we have to do the first satisfactory academic progress report? Well, let's go over here. We know that a 1,500 hour program, the first one is what? Hopefully y'all can see this screen, 450 hours, because it's blinking on my part. Can you all see the screen? Let me know. I need to know if y'all can see the screen. All right, so it's 450 hours, so I'll go back. Now, okay, great. All right, now, so 1,500 hour program, we know that they're scheduled for 30 hours per week. And they hit 450 hours. Okay, this is the 450 hours. This is when we're supposed to do the SAP. So 450 actual hours. Now, 450 actual hours, that means actual hours mean the hours that they were physically in school. Physically in school are actual hours. So let's look at this. Right here, actual hours. We want to know when they hit 450 actual hours. So I'll just say 450 actual hours right here. When they hit 450 actual hours, we need to know how many scheduled hours they had. Now I know you're going to get lost. So just say they had been there, we'll just say they had been there, we'll say maybe we're going to pick a number. All right. We're going to say when they hit 450 hours, they hit it on the 16th week. 16th week, the student had those 450. All right, 16th week, the student had 450 actual hours. All right, now, what are actual hours? Actual hours are the hours they were physically in the school, physically in there sitting down or walking through that door. That's what actual hours are. So we need to know the difference between actual hours and scheduled hours. Actual hours are the hours that they were physically in the school. Scheduled hours, that's their schedule. So looking at this, if we're looking at this screen, they schedule 30 hours a week. Okay. The 16th week is when they hit 450 actual hours. But if we go 16 weeks times how many hours a week? 30 hours a week, okay, is what? Equals. So we're going to go 16 weeks times 30 hours a week. That's 480 scheduled hours. All right. So now let's go back here. 480 scheduled hours. So the reason why they got 480 scheduled hours, because what is that telling us? They probably missed a week because it's 30 hours. So they missed a week, because we know students are not going to come every day. So just say they missed 2 weeks. Right here is showing they missed a week. If they missed 2 weeks, then that would be 480 plus 30, which is 510. All right. So now we know how to do the scheduled hours and the actual hours. So we have to know how many weeks they've been there when they hit the 450 hours, actual hours. If they came every day, perfect attendance, then at 450 scheduled, 450 actual will be the same. 99.9% of the time, it's never going to be that. Now, I know I missed some of y'all, so we're going to do this again. 1,500-hour program. They're scheduled for 30 hours a week, 450 actual hours, the hours that they actually were in the school. The 16th week is when they had 450 actual hours. It's time to do a SAP. But we know that was 480 scheduled hours. Now let's go back here. The next question is, well, how do we get the cumulative attendance percentage? How do we know what that is? I'm glad y'all asked. What you do to get the cumulative attendance is, I'm going to show you right here. We're going to go 450 actual hours divided by 480 scheduled hours equals. So we're going to take our calculator. 450 divided by 480 is 93.7%. So basically 94%. Plain and simple. I just showed y'all. So now we're going to go back here. And what are we going to put here? 94%. All right, that's our cumulative attendance. Now, does everybody understand that? You see how easy that was. But a lot of schools mess up because they have a problem figuring that out. Most schools don't do the calculations right. Most schools are not doing the SAP at the right time interval. So I wanted to share that with you all. Now, the next thing, how do we get the grade point average? I'm glad you asked. The cumulative grade point average, the cumulative academic grade. So let's go to that. So let's go down here. Say they had at 450 hours, they have been taking tests. First test they made, y'all just give me some numbers. Give me some numbers in the chat of what they made on their test. Throw some numbers out. All right. Okay. Savina said 89. Zandra said 85. So 80, let's see. 89. Zandra said 85. Victoria said 79. Veronica said 85. Kanisha said 72. Tell Jerome I said hi. We still praying for Jerome because his mother had transitioned. Okay. Savina again said 70. And we'll stop right there. Well, Tracy Williams said 90. Atlanta Barber Institute said 92. Zandra said 68. LaJuan Dior said 90. And we're going to stop there. All right. Now, what we have to do. How many of those grades? One. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10 grades. So we got to add them up. 89 plus 85 plus 79 plus 85 plus 72 plus 70 plus 90 plus 92 plus 68 plus 90 equals. All right, so we add these up. And all of them equal 820. All right. And how many grades we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we divide that. 820 divided by 10 equals 82%. That's how we came up with the grade. Y'all see how easy that is? So now we're going to go over here and we're going to put 82%. So that's how we do that. Okay. This right here is the most difficult part. All right. Now, if we look at this, student is making satisfactory academic progress. Okay, so that's, what is that? Yes. So we put an X there. Notice of warning provided a student. It wasn't no warning because they are making progress. If they weren't, we had to give them a warning. Reason for warning. We don't have that. You'd either just put an NA or whatever, or just leave it blank. All right, notice of probation. Provide a student, no. Because they weren't on probation. All right. Reason for probation. NA doesn't apply to you. Okay. Now, we go down here. Make sure student signs it, dates it. Somebody at the school, instructor, director, whoever signs it, dates it. Now, a lot of y'all are saying, well, what if they was on probation? If they were on probation, look, if they failed, if they had less than a 67%, it was 60%, and the other one was 65%, or either one of them. Then look, students making satisfactory academic progress. You put no. Notice of warning provided to student. Yes. Reason for warning. If they didn't pass in the grades, you check there. Or both, you check both. Or if it's just attendance, attendance. Notice for probation provided to student. Yes, you'll let them know. Reason for probation. If they failed both of them, attendance and academics, check both of them. Scroll down. You can have additional comments or whatever. So now what you're going to do after all this is filled out, you're going to put this in the students folder. Now, remember, if it was on a 1500 clock hour, guess what? We'll go back here. When that student hits 900 hours, what's going to happen? You're going to do the same thing. So just say, let's go back here. Go back to the drawing board. 1500 hour program, 30 hours a week, 900 actual hours. Well, what's the difference in actual hours versus scheduled hours? Actual hours, action. They were actually in the school. Actual hours, they were actually inside your school. Scheduled hours. Those are hours they were scheduled, but the total hours that they were scheduled, they were actually inside the school physically. So you gotta know the difference between both of those. So now, let's go back to the drawing board. So just say when they hit 900 hours, we're gonna just pick a number. When they hit 900 actual hours, all right, we'll just say 900 actual hours. They had, I'm gonna pick just a number, 1100. We'll just say, yeah, 1100. So that's when they hit 900 actual hours, we'll do this. So let me see. I want to do a good calculation, something that you all can easily do. We'll just say 35 weeks. All right. We'll do 35 weeks. 35th week, the student had 900 actual hours. So we go 35 weeks times 30 hours is what? 35 weeks times 30 hours is 1,050 scheduled hours. Okay. Actual hours is what? 900 divided by the scheduled hours, 1050. All right, so 900 divided by 1050 equals about 85.7%. So we'll just say 86%. So now we got a new one. Another SAP at 900 hours. So that was 1050 and 900. And we already know this was, what was it, 86%, I believe. And then we already know how to do the grades. So just say they had 5 tests and they scored 100 on all 5 tests. So we know that would be 100% cumulative grade point average. So what we're going to do, put that there, because I really want y'all to understand this, because if not, you're going to be messed up. All right, so that's how we do that. Now, and we already know how to do the checks on here, because we just went through that. So you got a clear understanding of this part. All right, evaluation period, 900. What's the second one? Then 900 number of weeks. You put that. Now, okay. So if we go back here, let me show you all something. If they were on a 30-hour week schedule, if you go 30 hours times 15, right here. We know this was a 30-hour week schedule because all we have to do is do that 450 divided by 15 weeks. So we know that was 30 hours. Some of y'all may have them on a part-time schedule. Some of them may be on a full-time schedule, but this right here, this is based on the full-time of 30 weeks. Right here, 900 clock hours. Okay, so we know that's 15, 30 weeks right there. Now, another thing, let's answer some questions. So now that grade point average, notice what that grade point average says. Let me show you all this. It says cumulative academic grade. So you're gonna add all the grades together, all of them together, okay? All of the grades together, and it'll give you the total. All right, let's answer some more Q&A. To get the grades, do we calculate the assignments, quizzes? All the tests that they take that are the tests that you have them for that are required. If you're doing like a little pop quiz and it really doesn't count or whatever, that's fine. But if you're doing a major test, you want to have those. All right, so now make sure at the bottom down here, student signature, date. All right, a lot of times, a lot of school owners are not getting the signatures and they're not putting the dates on there. NACCAS wants everything filled out, okay? If it's something, even if you have an enrollment agreement and it has guardian signature and they're over 18, NACCAS still wants you to put an NA or draw a line. They want you to acknowledge everything. So this is how we do a satisfactory academic progress evaluation form. So I really wanted you all to really get this so you could have an understanding. And this right here, this is in the NACCAS handbook, the newest one, the most up to date. So I wanted to share that with you all so you could understand that. Another thing that they mess school owners up on, and we're not going to go over that tonight, is the withdrawal calculation. When a student withdraws from the school, what should you do? So I'm going to be giving you all some trainings on that too coming up. But this SAP, a lot of school owners have been getting messed up. So I definitely wanted to share this with you all so you would know exactly how to easily do that, because a lot of us do not have a computer system. And when I say a computer system, those expensive software systems. So hopefully y'all learned something tonight from this. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to have some Q&A. We're open for Q&A.